Right, hi. I'm just gonna record this one on my Mac. Um, I'm gonna have a very quick run through of creating some negatives to print food-inspired cyanotype designs. So what I already have are some printouts of different bits of food, and people can use these and trace on paper like so, and they can draw around these food items and then add their own text or designs, whatever. If they're not feeling like they want to do some actual drawing on paper, then I've also produced some sheets as well. I'm looking around because I could have done with a little piece of kitchen rolls. So these bad boys are exactly the same printouts, but I've brushed the back of them with oil. And the oil turns the image translucent. So if I get one that I haven't treated with oil and one that I have, they're sticking together because I didn't have any kitchen roll. So this is the one without, and it's got a lovely printer mark so you can tell the difference. And this is the one that has been treated with oil. So I don't want oil to actually go onto my cyanotype, so I'm going to wipe the ones down that I want to use. And I've got a sneaky Andy Warhol one here, so I think I'm going to use that. If you can probably see a little bit of the shine left over of the oil. So I'm just going to polish that up a bit. These were done yesterday with the oil, so they've had overnight for the oil to sit in the paper. So we'll get rid of any surface grease. And then we have a negative ready to go. That's much better. Okay, so I'm going to chuck those out of the way. I have a little piece of paper that I'm just about to add my cyanotype solutions to. So my favorite ones, if you want to go onto my website, you can buy everything you need for cyanotype. And there's a very lovely article that I wrote a couple of years ago called Your Easy Step-by-Step Guide to Cyanotype Photography. And I suggest that you check it out. It makes it really, really easy. So I'm putting approximately 1-to-1 ratio. Oh, this is very dark. Interesting. Okay, so I've mixed it together. I better turn this down now so you can actually see what I'm doing. Right, there we go. That'll do. Okay, so I'm just going to prepare a couple of bits of paper ready to make my designs, and then what I'm going to do is create the negative whilst my cyanotype solution is just drying a little bit in here. The drier the cyanotype that you're using on the paper, I always find just the better the image that comes out. So I'm going to leave a little painterly edge because I just can't help myself. I love a painterly edge. And for this one, I think I'll go full coverage. I'm using bits of paper that are just recycled from my practice. So I'm not sure how great they are. This one that I'm just putting the cyanotype solution on at the moment, I could see little areas where the cyanotype solution was not adhering as well. And sometimes that can be just down to simply having slightly greasy fingers, because obviously we're humans, we produce oil all the time. Now you can see I put in the teeniest amount of cyanotype solution, and I've got loads left, absolutely loads. So I'm also going to do a couple of extra bits, so I'm not just wasting all my stuff. Oh, I can hear a biplane going over. Right, so I'm going to just cover these and stick them out of the sun. Also this, get out of the sun. And these two bad boys, or three bad boys, down the side. And the next part, I'm going to create, if I don't chuck everything on the floor. Next part, I'm going to create the negative, okay? So we want a nice piece of vellum tracing paper. I've got my beautiful condensed tomato soup, and I'm going to put that on top of my piece of paper. But I'm also going to write onto my negative. We love Campbell's soup, and that'll do. Really, come on. There's no reason why it needs to be over the top. Just basically letting you know that you can make marks and combine processes together if you want. I'm going to cross out tomato soup, I think, because I can. So you can edit on the fly. I think because of the oil, that's not working brilliantly, so I'll put my Sharpie off to the side. This is a paint pen or a chalk pen, and this will totally block out the light. So we'll have a very bizarre little patch in the middle. Because it's not about how this bit looks, it's about how it lets the light through. You can use lots of different types of paint or pens in the creation of your negatives. So I think I'll put in a few different bits of pen as well, so you can see the difference of the marks that we can get. That'll do. And also maybe a little fine liner, because again, you want to see how much detail you're able to keep with that. Okay. We love, we love soup. Let's hope Andy Warhol doesn't get upset with the fact that we've pinched his design. So that's how I've made my negative, a combination of hand drawn and printout from the computer that I've rubbed with oil. Putting that tracing paper between the oil covered part and your cyanotype also makes sense, because then it won't affect your print. So I'm just going to get a couple of little marks off my piece of glass. And check my paper. What's this situation? Right, that one looks all right. It's not like, reflecting loads and loads of light or anything. So I think we're probably good to go. And I'm going to need a backboard. That'll do for that. Okay, so as per usual, Cyanotype involves a little bit of downtime because I'm going to have to nip outside into the sun to print my image. Okay, and that, dear friends, is my setup. We Love Soup. Absolutely amazing design skills by me. And I'm going to return in approximately 5 minutes after I've shown this to the sunshine, and we'll give it a wash, and then that's it. That's the art. All right, rendezvous back in 5.